Well, hello there. You're watching In the Cave Fantasy Football with the four horsemen Vince, Danny, Mikey, and Jason. And you already know shenanigans are incoming. Stay tuned.
Gotta get hype! Can you feel me? Now, can you dig it?
What is up? You see, your boy is filling in for Jason because his team probably got their ass whooped. So he's hiding. He's scared. But we got the fantasy football show. We're going to be mixing it up. We'll be talking some fantasy football, trying to educate you guys. You got the experts. Now, I want you guys give some love to Vince. He's going to be one running the show. But more importantly, before we get started, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the share, spread the word to Cowboys Nation. More importantly, we got a couple announcements we got to make real quick. We got our sponsor coming through. We got our sponsor. So everyone's been asking, where's the Cowboys Cave gear? I need the Mike Tag gear. I need the Kelly Cave. I need the Vince gear. I need to see that face looking in the cave like he's in some haunted mansion or whatever the hell he's at. So we're going to get you the opportunity with Twisted Gorilla. They've been doing a ton of shirts, ton of custom gear. So we're working on some stuff. So make sure that you guys check it out once we get it. And then lastly, your boy's doing the live remote. Cowboys versus Rams. We are going to be hanging out at Henderson's. We got the crew, the fantasy football crew is going to be there. We got so many people that are going to be popping in. So make sure you guys check it out. But now, Vince, you are in control of the show. You said you wanted to be the lead dog. So here's your opportunity, my man.
Yes, sir. Of course. So that was a pretty crappy week when it comes to betting odds. Everything was crazy. It feels like every game that you thought a team would win, they didn't win.
No, yeah.
A lot of players let me down. Bijan Robinson, I don't know what the hell was up with that, but
well, let's talk. Let's talk about Bijan. He cost me a fantasy football game. I don't know if he cost any of you guys, but how does that happen, Vince and Danny and Mikey? How does that happen? How does this happen where this guy is not on the injury report and then he doesn't take a snap to the end of the game?
It seems like an inside job, to be honest with you, to confuse the Bucs, and I guess it caught them off guard pretty well because they lost that game.
Well, I think it's just like, if he's sick, okay, fine. Everyone has their bad days. But it's the fact that he put him in with a minute left in the game. Wasn't in the, what did he play, 10 snaps? Didn't get it run the whole game until like a minute left. I don't understand how that happens.
I think if you read between the lines, I think he had the shits. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's what it was. I think he had stomach issues.
But did he go running away? Did he go running away? Did he have any issues?
He's obviously not on the, the coach's naughty list or anything like that. I mean, that's the only thing it could be.
You never know.
No.
Yeah. I just don't understand that. Like, I didn't understand the whole time. I was like, where's Bijan? And I'm looking at the injury report. I don't see him on the injury report. So.
Well, I was playing him, so I was excited.
No, yeah. I mean, it's true. If you played Bijan, that's good. That's really
good. All right. We also can talk about Eckler, Josh Jacobs. They kind of upset people. Eckler hasn't sought out to what he was supposed to be. Same with Jacobs. Getting little to no points.
Can't blame. He played the Cowboys.
I could have told you that Jacobs wasn't going to have a good year, though.
But he was the leading rusher last year. That's what doesn't make any sense.
So was Taylor, though. Like, Taylor was the leading rusher, and then now he's like, eh. So,
I mean, he got like 16 points last week.
But I could tell you plenty of leading rushers that didn't do good the next year. DeMarco Murray, when he left the Cowboys and went to the Eagles, he had a trash.
He had a lot of changes offensively. I think, that plays a part. Their offensive line is definitely not as good. And I thought Carr was a better quarterback than Garoppolo.
And he's disgruntled. He was disgruntled. You get these disgruntled guys in. They're not happy in camp and this and that. And are always, to me, it's always destined for a down year. It's destined for a down year.
I mean, they had some good running backs in preseason. I think Matilde DeMeo was one of their top backs.
Solid running back. Solid running. I think came from the World League. Solid running back. All right, Vince, you got to talk. If you're the lead dog, you got to take
okay.
We got to get some energy
I think I know why Jason isn't here. I think I know why Jason's sitting out this one because he's currently in last place in our league with a 2-5 record.
Do you think he's running scared because he was the one?
I think he's scared because guess who's in first place? This guy. I'm in first place. I'm
I
in
have
first
to give
place.
Vince his respect. You know.
Thank you. You should have listened to me from day one, and no one listened to me until I'm on top.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's true.
It's
That's
the
true.
week
It's a long
8.
way to go.
It's
You need
week
to lost
8.
4 points. And my best
Just like-
players are on the bench with buys. Stop.
Just like I know, being a Cowboys fan, the playoffs is what makes you. And unfortunately, the Cowboys ain't been get done in playoffs. So I'm not gonna worry. We're not gonna give regular season trophies out. You're not getting no ribbon. You got to make sure your team is ready. So thinking about that, I was thinking, Vince and Mikey and Disco D, I want you to chime in. You're getting these trades. Obviously, Julio Jones, I mean, that's not going to be a game breaker, but you're hearing noise. You're hearing tight ends that could be on the market. You're hearing running backs. Who is out there that maybe if they had a new scenery, a new change of scenery, new team that might, their value and stock might go up?
Well, I'll start with one, and that's Jerry Jeudy. I mean,
Your favorite receiver?
for the record, but it's like he's probably one of the best route runners in the league. Statistically, he is. I watched the Broncos game. He was open the whole time. And then, obviously Derrick Henry, that's a big name going around. If he was on, I honestly think the Cowboys should get him, but I just heard a report Dallas isn't making any trades, but I think
now
they're
wait,
just
let's
saying that.
clarify this. Let's clarify because I even made a comment and I gotta stand corrected because I Jerry Jones, you always got to hear the full interview, and I didn't hear the full interview. Shame on me as being a journalist and someone providing information to Cowboys Nation. He said that they are going to listen. Didn't say they weren't going to make any moves. He said they're going to sit back and see what comes to them, and they're not opposed to making a move. I know there's been talk of tight end. There's been talk of running back. There's been talk of different things. So I just want to stand corrected on that. But go ahead, Miguel.
No, but back to the Cowboys, I see these Eagles fleece everybody, Titans twice. They got AJ Brown for nothing. They get an all-pro for nothing. So it's if Jerry Jones wants to win a Super Bowl, he's got to make these moves. Sometimes you take
Well, he
risks.
had Amari Cooper and he let him go.
I mean, let him go for a bag.
That's all he's done.
But imagine if Dallas had Amari Cooper right now instead of what's his name? No, instead of Gallup.
I owe Amari Cooper an apology. I said, hey, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be something. And I thought Dallas had something up their sleeve. Obviously, they didn't. And they that's hindsight's 2020. They probably sure miss Amari Cooper right now. There's no doubt about it. But that's where these trades, these things can happen. These things can move. But, I mean, Derrick Henry, do you guys see him getting moved? I mean, Titans said they listen to some
I think they will move on from Henry.
I think
where he
the
would
Titans
go
are gonna rebuild.
is a question. I mean, Dallas actually would be a pretty good fit, to finish out the year, maybe play next year and then go somewhere else. But Dallas definitely needs that bruising back. That's what they're missing right now. And I think that would be a really good fit for them.
But yeah. I also said, maybe, I don't know if this could be a long shot, but I also said Najee Harris.
What's up, Steve?
A big back who's physical, I think who hasn't been producing, but he's also behind a garbage O-line.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, at the end of the day, but he could be a guy that could maybe not make the biggest impact, but get those red zone TDs like Zeke did.
Well, where would you going back to Jerry Jeudy? Like what team? Like Vince?
I see the
team
Panthers.
would you think would need a guy like that?
Panthers.
The Cowboys?
Do you think the Cowboys need? And that's a good
for the
question.
do you honestly
think the Cowboys need a receiver? Do you think it's scheme or receiver? I mean, you've got Brandon Cooks, who's been a 1,000-yard receiver everywhere. He's been good.
Oh yeah.
And he's not even averaging 9 yards of reception. Obviously, you got CD. You got Gallup. You've got Tolbert, who had a very strong preseason. Is it receiver or is it scheme?
No, I don't think they need a receiver.
No, they don't need
I think they need a running back.
They need a running back.
I don't think receiver's been an issue.
I would take Jerry Jeudy with open arms.
But if you had Amari Cooper,
But I think the Panthers are a team that could get Jeudy. Giants.
Giants would actually be a good fit. Bears.
I think the Panthers would be the best fit just because they have Bryce Young. They got that Alabama ties.
Yeah, that's true.
You could see who else? Maybe the Patriots.
Do you think they would get rid of a Chase Young though?
Yes.
I just saw it come through.
They're not going to get rid of Chase Young.
Yes, they would.
I
I
think
can't
they
see
know they
that.
won't.
They would.
No, they
You'd
They
have to give up
could
a
because
lot.
he's on it. He's coming near the end of his rookie deal. To Vince's point, I would agree, but
he
I
is,
don't know.
but
I don't
he
know if
is,
they
but
give
he's
him the
playing good
Dallas.
right
I don't know if
now.
they give him the Dallas.
No.
That's right.
No, he won't go to Dallas. But I mean, I don't even think the Washington would even trade Chase Young. I think they'll trade Jonathan Allen because he said something in the.
They said they're
Like-
open to trading Chase Young.
Yeah,
a
but
lot of teams say they're open.
I
to
think
trading
everybody's
him.
open to trade anyone if you give up the right picks.
Exactly.
Maybe, but I don't know. I would be shocked if they trade Chase Young.
And then
I
I
would
want to go back on what we said about the Cowboys receiving core. I honestly think it's scheme because CeeDee
Oh, it
Lamb
is
has been
scheme.
a disappointment this season in fantasy football, and he was drafted so high to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Not
I
his
can't
fault.
argue.
Though. Let's get
I-
that out the way. Not his fault.
Well, I would agree. I mean, they got him the ball last week. He had a good game. He had a good game against the Jets, and
But,
he was
like-
probably non-existent in the other games.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I think where Vince, your point is you look at scheme. You look at, to me, it's Brandon Cooks is the obvious one. I mean, he's not even averaging 9 yards of
Uh-huh.
reception. This is a guy that's been averaging 15 yards plus. I mean, he's a breakaway speed deep guy, and they're not spreading the field. Everything seems to be underneath. I don't know if it's concerned of turnovers. I don't know if they're playing it safe. I don't know if it's there's so many things that can go into it. I'm hoping out of this bye week they get things right and get things moving, because I think Dallas has. To me, there was a comment with Mikey. Help me with his name. Thomas, our safety. Is it Juwan? Am I saying it
Juwan
right?
Thomas. I think
Juwan
his name-
Thomas, our boy Jay Tuck, kind of said, Dallas doesn't have the talent that stacks up to Philly right now or 49ers, and he said, and he was surprised by that. I think Dallas has the talent. I think it is scheming some stuff. So to your point, I'll
Well-
validate what you say.
You look at some of these teams like the 49ers. I mean, look what Minnesota just did to them without Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they did it. The Vikings did exactly what we should have done. They
Well, look at the
threw
Browns.
ball deep. They threw the ball deep to Jordan Addison, and look what he did.
Browns
now
with a
back to-
backup quarterback.
Yeah, and back to CD. Like, respectfully to Gallup, he should not be getting 10 targets a game. Respectfully, he should not. Like, I see Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen getting like 20 targets a game. I'm not saying CD should get that kind of targets, but I'm saying he should be getting like 10, 15 targets a game.
I don't mind how many targets they get, but if you're getting 10 targets and 3 catches, I got more of a problem with that.
Well, exactly.
That's
At
the
least-
that's the
at least
problem.
Try to stretch
But like,
the
but
field.
would you really trust? I mean, I'm not saying not trust Gallup, but I'm like, CD should be getting like 10 catches, if not more, a game. Because
Throw
like,
to the
if
open
Jefferson-
guy. Throw to the
Huh?
open guy. Is
We'll
what
give you
they-
180
yes.
catches for the year.
No, but like, I mean, Gallup's getting like thrown in his ball's getting thrown to double coverage. He drops the ball, but CD should be getting a lot more targets. Still,
Yeah.
I don't like open or not.
Well, like I
Dez
said,
wasn't
they're paying
open half the
these
time, and
receivers-
Romo just threw it up to him, and Dez would just.
They're
catch it.
paying these receivers to make plays, and they're not allowing them to make plays. That's the problem.
No, that's what it comes down to. But if you let's look at other receivers. Look at the way the other receivers are going, the way it is around in the NFL. What other receivers are you seeing that maybe could you see them breaking away? You got Vince, you're the expert. I'm gonna lean on you. The kid that I picked up, he's from the Colts. Who's that young receiver? He had
Josh
a breakout
Downs?
game. Who was it?
Josh Downs.
Josh Downs. What receivers do you see is like, man, if you can get these guys low, you see a breakout second half in your fantasy league that can definitely help increase.
I could see Rashee Rice. He's been picking up a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
he's been playing good.
the wide receiver work in Kansas City. Also, Jalen Hyatt has been getting a lot more attention,
Mhm.
but I don't know if that's just because Tyrod Taylor's their quarterback or maybe they're using him more in the Giants scheme.
Another player could be Jamison Williams. Lions just cut Marvin Jones. I'm not
He's
saying-
terrible.
All right.
Jameson Williams, you think he's terrible?
He
Alright,
didn't
let's-
even get. He got not even like a catch.
That was a beautiful catch. No touchdown.
I don't
Wasn't
even. He
that a
didn't do
touchdown?
anything.
He caught it and for a touchdown. No,
He got one catch the whole game.
I know. But what we're
They were playing
saying
from
is, who
behind.
do you see a guy that could be getting more action? To Mikey's point, they cut a receiver. They cutting a receiver to get
No,
him.
but
I don't think they
more.
cut him.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he's
But
going
you
away
gotta look at it
because
this way.
he's having family problems.
Jamison Williams gets the ball deep a lot. They throw to him deep a lot. They use his speed, and he could have a game where it's 2 catches for like 60 yards.
But do you
mean, that's
want
a lot
that
of-
in your starting
that could be
lineup? A
points.
guy
Yeah,
that
I
I'm
mean,
saying
potentially
he's-
can
no,
go
but
deep.
I'm
he's
just
not gonna be
saying he could have 2
if Amon-Ra
catches for
St. Brown
60
is in the
yards and a
lineup.
touchdown. I'm saying
I just
throw
don't
to
think
him.
I don't think he's effective enough, consistent enough to
But
warrant a
the-
starting.
But
you
he
know,
hasn't gotten
be
the
in your starting
opportunity
lineup.
though.
Yeah.
Like all they do is throw the ball deep. But now they cut a receiver. You could get, some more catches, some
Potentially.
targets and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Well, because St. Brown's going to get more attention, but you got
yeah,
Disco D's favorite player, Tank Dell. You got him who's played pretty solid, right? So
He
I mean,
could pick it up.
you're looking at some of these young guys. The other one flipping to running backs. I mean, what
Nico
running back
Collins
is
too.
kind of hiding under the radar as you see guys getting hurt, guys are getting nicked up. Who's a running back? If you're a fantasy football guy and you're trying to build up your bench, running backs are the hardest position to fill because they're all taken up. But is there a diamond in the rough that maybe you could trade for, maybe that you can get someone out there that people should keep their eye on?
Well,
There's
what
a
about
few.
Jeff Wilson from the Dolphins?
well, I'm gonna say like,
A-Chain's hurt. He's
yeah,
back.
8
He
chains
was
on the
supposed to be
IR.
the starting running back.
Yeah.
I think Ahmed, the other Dolphins running back, is a starter.
What about
Stephon
Bigsby?
Ahmed?
Isn't it?
Tank Bigsby, that's a good one. Tank Bigsby.
Okay. My 2 favorite running backs to pick up for absolutely free, there should be on your waiver wire, Darrell Henderson. He got most of the work, and a lot of people are avoiding him since they put him back on their practice squad today.
Yeah.
Pick him up. They're going to elevate him again. He got all of the work. Zach, I think Mikey started the other Rams running back. He got him 0 points. I saw that.
I did.
And then
I might have to fire my GM.
We literally won.
And
we
I'm-
beat a
Well,
team
because I didn't
91 to
think
90
they would start
90.4.
Darnell Henderson so soon.
Yeah, no.
And then I also like a buy low candidate. I feel like he'll bounce back. I know he's had a disappointing season so far as Bijan Robinson. He could elevate
It's had a
more in that
disappointing
offense.
season.
It's been very disappointing. You
Well, I
drafted
guess
him
Disappointing for a top
a top.
pick. Yeah.
He was the top 7 pick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, if you let's take Jahmyr Gibbs for example. He was a starting running back, and I mean, look what he did.
Jahmyr Gibbs isn't a starting running back, but he finally got his.
Well, I'm
He
saying
finally got the
since now
starting role and
David
got like
Montgomery's
26
hurt, so
points.
Don't you think like Tyler Algier is kind of stealing Bijan a little bit?
No, Tyler Joe is terrible.
Well,
said
I got to
that.
say that Jimmy predicted that Bijan was not going to be as good because he thought he would lose carries to Patterson and the other Algier, is it the other running back?
Yeah.
Who the hell knows Falcons? I tried to explain that to
Patterson,
Jimmy.
I
You
don't
don't give
think
two
he's-
shits about the Falcons.
I don't think Patterson's
Which
really.
I
been a
think
factor.
Last
I
game
think
I saw him
sitting
getting
Bijan is retarded.
carries.
When
Well,
Bijan
he
is
did
out,
because
he's a
Bijan
good.
was out.
Yeah.
But like Bijan, there's no reason you draft a running back top 10 and he's not on the field. Like like same with Gibbs. Like it doesn't make sense. Why
Well,
reach?
I
why
told you
reach
with
for
that
Gibbs
is,
if you're not going to
I'll
start
bet
him?
anything.
Well,
he
that's
is
why you
gonna
go with
get-
the better running back in that situation. David Montgomery is a better running back in that backfield.
I disagree.
Well, they should have drafted Jalen Carter, and that would have been nice to see him in Detroit instead of Philadelphia.
Because then the Eagles would have took Bijan and I would have lost.
I don't care. Look what he's doing. He don't scare me none.
All right. Wait till Bijan's a starter.
Well, we play them next year. I'm waiting for that time, and I welcome it with open arms. I welcome it with
We are
open
waiting
arms.
with bated breath.
I am waiting with bated breath. So, looking into the schedule. So, I cannot believe we are in. Are we in week 8 already?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I know.
Oh
it
my
sucks. It's gonna go
God.
so fast.
So, what do we got? What games? What key games are standing out to you? I'd start with Mikey. What is your game to watch? Not only for good football, but for fantasy. What game are you keeping your eye on?
Honestly, no bias. I might have to go with the Cowboys and Rams because you got to look at it offensive perspective.
So I'm biased.
So you're saying
CD,
also who are your key players when on the Rams and the Cowboys? How do you think they're
Puka.
gonna? How do you think they're gonna perform? Do you think the Cup? I mean, on the Rams side, you think they're gonna have their way with Dallas and vice versa?
I think Cup might because for an example, he gets a target a lot, open or not. So I mean, He's always going to be that guy that get like 15, 20 points a game. That's just who he is. Puka had a great game last game. You know, the running back, Darnell, if they get in the red zone, you know, you could see a touchdown because our run defense isn't as good right now, but I think we'll figure it out in the end.
How's
But
it not good?
I mean,
we shut down CMC. We shut down the last. Eckler didn't do crap against us. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit.
I said not as good. I said it's getting better. I said on
No.
the one.
I know.
But I mean, you got CD, you got a great
Who's your must
offensive
start in that
matchup
game? Give me a must start in that game.
A must start. Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott. I like that. I think the offense is gonna explode.
Who was on that Rams defense, Vince?
Aaron Donald.
Ooh.
Our interior, you got Tyler Smith, you got Zach Martin.
What about secondary, Vince?
I think the interior of our line is pretty solid.
Taylor Rapp.
Who?
Taylor Rapp.
I heard Kevin Durant's on that team. Like, who's the other cornerback? Durant? Isn't that his name?
Yeah, they'll have their field day. They'll have their field day. Disco D, what is the game that you got your eye on for fantasy?
Well, the game I'm looking to watch the most, obviously besides my Broncos playing the Chiefs, is the Bengals 49ers. The Bengals are on a little bit of a run, and the 49ers are kind of on a downslide. It's at San Fran, but I think that's going to be a hell of a game. And in a weird way, I think it's a must-win for each team.
I definitely want to hear Vince and Mikey, but I would say the 49ers are an interesting spot. They've lost 2 in a row. The Bengals are I didn't realize how good that their division is. I think their division has I think the Bengals are in last place. Every other team has 4 wins. So the Bengals are in a position where they've got to do something, and they're playing. I mean, it's going to be that is a big matchup. Definitely agree. I don't want to say it's a must-win for either team, but I think it's pivotal for the psyche of both teams.
Well, the Bengals are in a good spot because Debo's not playing this week, and now with Fred Warner hurt, you don't know how that's going to be.
Yeah.
Now, if Seattle wins, would that put them in first place? Aren't
Seattle's not?
I'm trying to think of their record.
No, he's talking about for the San Francisco.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it would. It would.
Yeah.
Or a
They
tie.
haven't played each other yet. It'd be a tie. I don't know what the tiebreaker is there yet.
No, because Seattle only has 2 losses, right?
I just think for the NFC, I mean, it would really open a lot of things up if they lost.
Oh, it'd be huge. It would be
a huge loss, and it would actually be very helpful to the Cowboys, the Eagles.
Oh, even a team like the Vikings, they could creep right back into the race, and you got a head-to-head win against them.
You want that bye, and I think that puts everybody right in there.
Yeah. And before we get to Vince, we always want to respect our chat. So we've got my man Cuts by Jones, another great sponsor. If you guys need some custom cuts, you make sure you call Cuts by Jones. But do you think that Washington's played Philly tough historically? They did it earlier this year. Any chance for Washington to beat Philly?
No chance.
No chance.
I really think they have a shot. I really think they do.
How do you think they have a shot? Like, seriously.
Well, Philly's secondary, Philly's defense is not as good as people think. Like,
they don't have to be good. They're playing the Washington offense.
Yeah, and that Washington offense may beat you guys. Well, I guess
they scored like 7 points last week.
They played bad, but
they played Philly tough.
A rivalry game that historically they've always played Philly very tough.
They just don't have the firepower.
I know. All right, well, mark the tape.
In case now you got Fred. He's just asking a question. He didn't mean to start no ruckus, but
one more
thing, because we love our chat. We always want to answer questions. We want to make it. So this is going to go to Vince, and then Vince, after this question, I want you to tell me your game to watch. He wants to know who's he going to start this week.
Okay, Kyle Pitts has had one good game.
Ferguson. Kyle Pitts or Jake Ferguson?
I'm taking Jake Ferguson. It's going to be, I agree, it's going to be a pass-heavy game for the Cowboys. They're going to be passing the ball, and they'll be throwing it to whoever's open. Kyle Pitts has only had like one good game. He still looks like they're not involving him.
Now, Steve, that's coming from the man who's leading the Cowboys Cave Fantasy League. So I'd probably trust what he says. And he hates the Cowboys. So for him to say something positive, that's got to carry some weight. So more importantly, next, Vince, what's your game to watch, and give us a little breakdown of why.
These games are pretty tough this week. I'm probably just going to go with the best fantasy game, in my opinion, is going to be Bears and Chargers. I feel like it's a primetime game. It's 8:20.
Well, I'll be going to
because I
sleep.
forgot my Tylenol
Obviously.
PM.
Okay, but the Bears they look actually sort of well on offense without Justin Fields. And the Chargers are playing a terrible Bears defense, and it feels like it's just going to be a good fantasy game. I'll be starting Roshan Johnson if he's playing. I feel like it's finally his breakout game. I'll start Palmer, and I'll start, like, other than your obvious ones, I feel like you'd be confident starting Eckler this week, even though he had 5 points last week.
Yeah,
No.
he'll bounce back.
He's got to be like a must start, though, right? You got to take
Yeah,
the good and the bad.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
people are still worried about him, and
I think you.
What do you think about Foreman? You don't think?
no,
you
I
don't
think Roshan's the better running back in that backfield. By
even
far.
after Foreman had 3 touchdowns. In one game?
I could have 3 touchdowns.
All right.
They played the Raiders defense. I can name Max Crosby, and that's pretty much it.
Well,
So
yeah,
the
hey,
Rams defense.
this is you're talking to a man who's leading the Cowboys Cave, who's on his way to get a ring on his finger. You understand what we're talking about? And also a custom cuts by Jones, who we're working on a custom design. So that's going to be in his little bat cave over there. So
Hopefully we
another
see it.
question. I want to throw this to our resident AFC guy, because he knows AFC like no other, and that's Disco D. The Ravens look amazing right now. Watch out for them on the AFC side of things. You saw they absolutely destroyed Detroit. Are the Ravens that good, or was this kind of an off game for
No,
Detroit?
the
What do you
Ravens are
think?
that good. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the AFC. I mean, Lamar is throwing the ball at ease, and he's staying in the pocket. He's not having to run all over the place. The receivers are doing great. Running game's doing great. Defense is phenomenal. I mean, they're on all cylinders right now.
God, they always seem like they're one of those teams that's always there.
Well, I think
Go ahead,
I-
Miguel.
hopefully, because the Ravens have done this all the time, and it's like they would have a big game, and then they would lose a game they should win, and then like it's a back and forth thing. But I think with the addition of Zay Flowers, Odell, I think just them two just has helped this team so much.
I would say right now he's the MVP, neck and neck with Myles Garrett.
You think Myles Garrett's MVP?
Damn right I do.
I think DPOY. I don't know about MVP.
I saw some stuff on Twitter and would love to get your opinion. We'll go Mikey, Disco D, Vince around the corner. They gave out their the MVPs. It was pretty much all quarterbacks. One name that was kind of missing, and I just got to say, if I had a vote, this guy would be my vote for MVP, Tyreek Hill. Would you agree, disagree? What's your thoughts on Tyreek Hill so far this season? Mikey, you start us off, then go down to Disco and Vince.
Well, I agree, but the NFL, has come to like if it's an MVP award, it's going to a quarterback, no matter who it is, no matter what. But I really think Tyreek Hill should be in the running for MVP. Yes, I think he should.
Hold
But I
on.
think Myles Garrett should be too.
I thought we were in order.
Go ahead, Disco.
No. I got a bone to pick. Why do we got haters?
Oh, don't worry about that.
Well, hold
Vince.
on.
We'll get
I know.
to that.
I got.
We will get to that, Vince.
Okay,
Don't
Let's
worry.
just
We're
be
gonna get to
honest.
that.
Tyreek is Tyreek. He's doing what he's done since he came into the league. He did have an easy touchdown that he dropped in the end zone, though, last week, right in his hands. But MVP, probably not in the discussion, maybe, top 10, but definitely not an MVP. Great receiver. But, I mean, there's many like him in the league to me.
Yeah. No, I agree. What's your opinion, Vince?
I could see it happening. I really don't see any other quarterback that's stealing the show other than Tua.
No, he did beat his
the guy
kids,
throwing
for
him the
sure.
ball.
Lamar?
Yeah, Tyreek Hill
Lamar's
did
had
beat
one
his
good
kids.
game.
Oh, my God. Is this guy high?
He's only been starting to do. If he keeps on going well, I could see Lamar getting it again.
Yeah. Hey, you dumbass, Jared. He's been doing the same crap every year. That's why he should be MVP, you idiot. I hate these stupid people coming into this chat, coming into the cave, talking all this mess. He's got to be an Eagle fan. He's a
I don't even know what
moron.
the hell you're saying.
Who doesn't?
What happened? What did it say?
No, we
Tyreek
got
Hill's on
people in
pace
the
for
chat
2,000 now.
hating on Tyreek, saying he does the same stuff every year, and now you guys want to talk about him being MVP. The guy is on pace for how many yards receiving? He's an unbelievable talent, so he should be. He should be. Thank you, I appreciate it. I try and bring the energy. It's all love. That's what I like about this show. We gotta have some fun. But anyway, so I think he's gonna go Cowboys for the most mid-team ever. What's that mean? Help me out. What am I missing?
They're saying they're average, an average team.
Here we go. We're talking about Eagles. Oh God, Dak Prescott's 8-3 against the Eagles. I don't even know mopping.
Wait. Didn't the Eagles lose to the Jets? Wait,
I know,
I must be missing something.
But didn't the Cowboys lose to
Didn't
the Cardinals
sorry
though?
Eagles
To
lose
be
the
honest,
Jets? Who?
Yes, they did. They lost to the Cardinals, but we beat the Jets. Did the Eagles? Did they kill the Cardinals, or they
lose to
barely
the
beat them? I don't even remember.
Cardinals and the Jets.
Why are you guys living in the past? Let's live in right now, and we're going to
All
be
right.
slapping the Rams around. That's all I care about. Then the Eagles are going to come through. They will slap them around. We're going to control the division. Look at the Eagles' schedule. They don't have shit to do. And let's talk about these Jets. The Jets, yes, I like the Jets. We do like the Jets. And let's see, Feagles, yep, they do suck. Thank you.
McCaffrey, I agree with that.
You think McCaffrey an MVP conversation?
I can see that. He's
the
scoring
impact,
touchdowns every game.
but the impact alone he has
Absolutely.
done for the Niners. I mean, he has scored a touchdown every game since he's been there.
This is it. Eagles smacked the Dolphins. The Dolphins are missing 3 offensive linemen, missing both their starting cornerbacks. I mean, give me these.
No, but
I
like
would hardly say they smacked them around.
I know. Yeah, I mean, these are idiots.
I can tell
these Eagles
Jalen Hurts
fans. I'm up in Philly. I
is
know you guys
not
are
a top 10
stupid.
quarterback. Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback.
Who,
I'm
the
taking
turnover
Dak
machine?
Prescott over Jalen Hurts.
You talking about the turnover machine?
I'm talking
the turnover
about 10
machine,
turnovers in
Jalen
6
Hurts?
games.
I would. Dak Prescott looks terrible. I'd gladly take Jalen Hurts.
He don't
over
have the
Dak.
turnovers
You're
that
tripping.
Hurts has. He don't have the turnovers
At least
that Hurts
Jalen
has.
Hurts can run.
He's got more turnovers than he does played in games.
Let's just face it. The Eagles are. I mean, no. Like I'm.
Hey, at least Jalen Hurts led his team to the Super Bowl.
The Eagles, just in history, are the most overrated team I've ever
Always.
seen in my life. Look
No,
in
they
the
are.
late '80s when they had Reggie White. They were killing
Oh.
teams. They folded up like a tent every
Every time.
single time in the
Every
first round.
single
they'll
time.
That
fold
team
up
should have.
like
that
a
team
10
should have
years.
probably won 5 or 6 Super Bowls back in '80s.
Did Jalen Hurts
90s.
win
No,
the
they were
Super
good.
Bowl
Good
though?
defense.
DQ.
What was
Fucking
that?
Bucks. The Bucks shut their stadium down. What the hell are
Oh,
you
that was
talking about?
embarrassing.
Shut them
That was
down
embarrassing. That
in
was
their own house.
Who was that? Rondé Barber taking the
Adios,
house?
veterans.
And then when they finally, the thing I don't understand about the Eagles, when they finally win, they 50-something years, they finally host up in Lombardi. What do the fans do? They run in the streets and eat horse shit. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, the tape can prove it. It is what it is, but
They
that's
don't
what they
call
love
it
to do.
Philadelphia for nothing. They're a bunch of
Well,
shit.
hey, I was in Philadelphia today. I had a
the
little
girls
business.
have 3 teeth, and the guys eat shit. I mean, that's what they do.
I left
Why do
a
you think
fresh,
they have a
I left a
prison at
fresh
their
turd
damn
on the
stadium?
street for him.
Wow.
Oh man, that's the way it goes. But it, in due time, all things get settled.
And one
That's
last thing.
what.
The Broncos, Buccaneers, Cowboys, the Eagles can't touch any of our Super Bowl wins.
Of course not. Of course not.
The fucking Bucks, the Yucks, have more Super Bowls than you.
Oh, but no, I love and it's not really a rivalry. I mean, I know the Eagles want to make it a rivalry. The Eagles really aren't the Cowboys' rivalry. They're what I used to call a homecoming opponent because we always beat them every single time. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's the way it
Yeah.
works. But more importantly,
Washington has more Super Bowls than them too, right now. I'm sorry.
yeah, they only have one. They're an embarrassment to the
Bottom
NFC
of the
East.
division.
They're the bottom of the division when it comes to Super Bowls. That's just facts. They may not like it, but they will learn to love it because it's the facts.
They're the Buffalo Bills of the NFC East.
That's yep.
They do
I
have a
agree.
ring pop. And they have but the thing I'll give the Eagles, if you ever been to their stadium, this is a fact. At least I think it is a fact. If you ever been to their stadium, they have their division championship banners because
Oh
they
my
can't get Super
God.
Bowl banners. They have division championship banners.
What a bunch of
I've never
losers.
seen anything like it. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. But anyway, so
DQ, I know you're happy with your second place ribbon, so you can
Yeah.
have that.
They're hanging up division championship banners.
how far will the Cowboys go? Well, I expect them to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, shit. What do you want me to say? Oh, we're gonna make the playoffs. I mean, what idiotic fan? I expect Eagle fans to say their team's going to Super Bowl. I mean, Jesus, Vince is a Bucks fan. Vince, what are the Bucks going to do? Hopefully, you say go to the playoffs, go to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's why you're a fan of the team.
No, I want them to tank.
You want them to tank for a quarterback. Say, I'm not.
No, I want them to
Tua.
tank so the tickets are cheaper. That's why.
No.
And nothing good happened here in Tampa.
Yeah.
Baker
No,
Mayfield is terrible. The Cowboys are still going to be terrible. With Dak Prescott as quarterback, they need to get rid of Dak if they want to win anything.
We'll see. I think the way, if I'm being honest with is this is Dak's opportunity. If it doesn't, it's Super Bowl or bust. If it's not, they're gonna have to make a move at some point. You can't continue going down the same path and getting the same results. I mean, it's business, and it's just the way it is. So I think eventually this is going to have to be their time. But they're 4-2. Look at their schedule. I hate to make this a Cowboy thing, but you get me rolling. I can't help myself. But look at their schedule the next 6 games. Look at the Eagles' schedule the next 6 games. This division is going to get decided real fast.
Who do they got? Who does Dallas have?
Well, Dallas plays nobody. I mean, they
So
play
you're
the
gonna have
Eagles.
a Mickey Mouse Super Bowl run, and then
They-
you're
they-
losing the playoffs in the first
but
round like
can't
you always
say that.
do.
Every team has that. Look at New England.
No.
They played the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins
No. Dallas'
6
schedule.
times, and they were
Dallas-
the shittiest teams.
Dallas played 4 road games in their first 6. They have 3 home games like in a row. They have obviously Washington on Thanksgiving. They got Seattle the next Thursday. They got Philly at home, but they got Philly on the road. They got the Rams. Their schedule, this part of the schedule is not very difficult. You go
Yeah.
to the back end of the schedule. They got to go to Buffalo. They got to go to Miami. You got to think those teams are going to be playing well. So this is the point where they can buffer up the division. That's all I'm saying. Dallas, just so you understand, Vince, the NFC East, and I'll defend Philly in as well. Toughest schedule in the NFL, the NFC East. They play the AFC East. They play the AFC West teams. They play the NFC West teams. All the best divisions in football they got to play. So that's a fact. I mean, the Buccaneers, the Saints, the Falcons, easiest schedule in the NFL. That's the facts. And you don't hide from it. It's just a fact of the way
I
it
hope
is.
so. I hope so, man.
If you really think about
I
it-
hate how you were hating on the Eagles because they won a Super Bowl more recent than you guys have with
Yeah,
a
10
backup
years.
quarterback,
It's-
Nick Foles.
How far back do we go? How far back are you allowed to hoist that Super Bowl? Is it not the whole history? Is
The
it
Cowboys
5
do it all
years?
the
Is it
time!
10 years? Is it 15 years? Is it 2 years? When does it end? Because last I checked, the rings, I might have to dust them off, but the rings are still there. That's just the way it is. So I don't know when it stops. You tell me. Is it by Vince's rule? Vince decides what year it is? Is that what?
But what are
we're
the
going by
Cowboys do to
Vince's
keep
rule?
milking
What is the year?
their
When do you stop it?
Super Bowls?
You tell me when you
Vince.
stop it. What is it? 5 years? What's the year? Tell me. You're the expert.
I feel
What's
like
the year?
10 should be
10 is good. Why?
10's pretty
Why?
good.
Why?
Because you get the
Well,
boast a little bit, but then it goes
Why?
to the back, and then their whole facade and Mickey Mouse
Give
run
me
is
a
over
break.
with.
Give me a break.
Vince,
It doesn't
Vince,
change.
Vince,
All
you're
right,
you're in a
San
you're in a
Francisco
not
hasn't won
winnable
a Super
battle
Bowl
here,
since
Vince.
'94. So why is that all of a sudden okay?
Who has won a Super Bowl?
San
since
Francisco hasn't won a Super Bowl since 1994.
It's more recent
Why
than
are
the
they getting
Cowboys.
that?
That's why.
What?
Well, no, it's not.
What does it matter?
It's actually a year before.
It's a year before Dallas. Thank you, Vince. Learn your education.
I'm not a 49ers fan. What do you want me to do?
You're running your mouth in a cave, but you ain't backing it up with facts. I just
'Cause
gave you San Francisco.
I'm not a
Why does San
Cowboys fan.
Francisco
I'm not a
get pass?
49ers fan.
Buffalo Bills haven't won a Super Bowl yet. Where's their path?
Yet, and they've been to a lot.
Minnesota's
break.
never won one either.
Give me a break. Thank you, Fred. These young whippersnappers, they run
That's
their
why I
mouths, but they
stayed-
don't have
I
the
stayed
facts to back
quiet.
it up.
Oh,
That's why I
Mikey
stayed
hasn't even been
quiet.
alive to see a Super Bowl. I don't know what he's talking.
here we
It's fine.
go.
So,
I
so
always
if he
get
wins
this.
it. So
I've
if
never
Dallas
been
wins a
alive
Super
to
Bowl
see a
next
Super
year, then it's
Bowl.
all forgiven.
All forgiven.
All forget. The 30 years is forgiven. It doesn't matter. Like the 52 years it took the Philadelphia Eagles to win a Super Bowl, that doesn't matter because they won one.
It took the
How
Chiefs.
stupid is that?
How long did it take the
Stupid.
Chiefs?
How
It took the
stupid.
Well,
Chiefs-
because
when
we're
was
not
it-
talking about the past. We're talking about the present. We're right here. We're right
But
now.
you
We're
are
not
talking about the past. If
we're-
you're talking about the Eagles Super Bowls, that's a past.
But I was just
Exactly.
saying.
Well, how far is
I
your
wasn't
past? Is your
talking
past
about it.
1
I
year?
was.
Is
How
your
long
past
is your
1
past,
year?
Vince?
I was saying you
How
guys are
long is your
hating on them
past?
more of a way of hating on the Eagles because they won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback.
Oh, here we go.
Great.
I'm
Here
hating
we
on them more
go.
Congratulations. What do you want, a cookie?
Here we go.
I'm hating
not
on
an
them more
Eagles
because
fan. I'm
they
just giving
should've
them the
won way more
props.
Super Bowls.
Here we
The
go.
point is, yes, they did win a Super Bowl, well deserved, but
No,
they
wait,
also
wait.
fold up like a tent year in and year out. Go all the way
But
back.
they made
to
the Super Bowl
80s.
last year, didn't they?
That's a second. Okay, so what? The Panthers made the Super
And
Bowl
what
and they went
happened?
15-1.
Did they win? They don't talk about
The
losers.
Falcons won. Falcons went to the Super Bowl.
We've been to
So
7.
what?
We only won 3. I don't even.
But
think about
I'm
it.
just saying, at least they can make a Super Bowl. That's it.
At least they can.
At
make
least
the
they
Super
can
Bowl.
make
it.
I'd
At
rather.
least
I'd
they
rather
can get
FCS
there.
lose in
Why-
the playoffs.
why
At
hasn't
least
it-
they
why
can
haven't
we
the
get a
Eagles caught up
smidgen
yet?
of a taste.
It's been 30 years. How
I'd
come,
rather
how
not
come the
go
only
if I'm
team to
not gonna
catch
win.
up
Yeah,
was the,
I would
was the New
rather
England
not go
Patriots?
if I'm not gonna win.
Give me a break. I mean, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. That's just dumb. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It is, you either you take the whole history or you cherry pick what you want. Now, for Eagle, their years are gonna stop when they last won one. How many years ago was that?
Man, he has to think about this.
Anyone got to
I
think
don't
about
know.
it?
I'm not an Eagles fan. It was like,
It's the 3 quarterbacks removed or whatever the hell it
2017,
is.
right?
2000 what?
I think it was
17,
Okay.
right? When they won their last Super Bowl.
7 years. So does it, if it stops at 5, now it's 7, does it go to 8? Does it go to 9? Does it go to 10? Does it go? The Miami Dolphins haven't won a Super Bowl since 72? 73? I mean,
1973.
thank you. 27
I wasn't even born.
2017.
50
So you're
years
going
ago.
you're going on 7 years it's going to be if they don't win this year. But that's okay. That's okay. So we're going to pick 7
Let's not
years.
forget
as our
the Eagles
timeline?
choked in the Super Bowl last year.
they
and
didn't
Jalen
choke.
Hurts
They
choked.
should have won that game if they were
choked.
playing on a
Won.
real field.
Choked.
They would have won
If they
that game.
should've
They would have won
won,
that
they
game.
would've
I'm not
won.
an Eagles
They
fan.
should have won.
They should have
but
won
they
that game.
choked.
If they
They
should have
choked just
won,
like
they would have
always
won.
do. They had a cupcake
Because
playoff
championship
schedule, that's
teams
why
know
they
how to
made
win
it.
those games.
No.
They don't let it
Absolutely.
slip
Hold on.
on.
First
I
of
don't
all,
wanna hear
hold
it.
on.
Period.
Zero idea.
Hold on.
Period.
Hold on. Do you know who the Eagles played in the playoffs? They played the Giants, who
Garbage.
had a Cinderella season. Then they played
Yep.
the 49ers, who didn't have Brock Purdy. CMC was their
That's
quarterback
right.
at one point.
Yeah.
Like, come on, stop.
Yeah.
They still,
No.
they still should have beat the
I-
Chiefs.
The bottom line
they
is-
lost.
the bottom line is-
But the
They got a
Cowboys
free-
place
hey,
ribbons.
they got a
The
free
Cowboys
trip.
lost
Don't
too.
get second
Why is no one
place
talking about that they
ribbons. Don't get
lost?
Second place ribbons, Vince.
They got a free trip. Let's just be honest.
Free trip.
Very easy trip. But hey, I'm not going to hate on that. They got their free trip. They lost. I'll give them I said
They
I'd
played
send them a
real team
ribbon.
and they lost.
We'll send them a ribbon.
Their
We'll
first
send them a
real
ribbon.
team in the playoffs, and they lost. And Jalen Hurts looked trash.
But at least they made it. That-
Oh,
don't
they
care
made
less.
it. Oh, okay.
No,
they
wait,
made
wait.
it.
Hold on.
Wow.
in the Super Bowl
hold on.
that they should have won. That game
Wow.
was
So the Panthers
robbed.
should have won, right?
It
The
was-
Panthers
no,
should
that
have won,
game was a
right?
robbery. You can ask
So the
anyone in this
Panthers shoulda
comment
won,
section
right?
that is unbiased. That
Answer
game
the
was
question.
robbery.
Answer
The
the question.
Chiefs
The Panthers
should have
should've
lost.
won, right?
know.
Should the Panthers have won? Yes or no?
And if
They went
Jared's
15-1,
mom had
right?
nuts, she'd be his uncle. I mean, what do you want? I mean, who cares? Who cares?
Would they go 15-1 Panthers and they lost? Do they get a second place ribbon? No.
Yeah. It's
But the
idiotic.
Panthers should have won that game too. If Cam Newton wasn't such a
my
baby
goodness.
back.
The Panthers got dominated that whole game. Von
But Cam
Miller
Newton,
Von Miller made
that
them
game
look
was rigged. It was
trash.
rigged. It was rigged.
I can't argue with this.
It was
Well, I need
rigged.
cuts by Jones. Make sure you got that food for the next tailgate. He's making street tacos for our next Cowboys Cave tailgate party. And you know the Cowboys play the Buccaneers next year, so maybe we might have to make it so we bring Vince out there.
We need to
Let
set
him
up a
come out.
boxing ring.
Hey, you
Let him
turned
go.
Vince into a pinata.
I'll show
I
these
just said
Cowboys fans
we need
a real
to set
electrical
Vince up
grid.
to a boxing
I'll
ring.
bring you a real electrical grid.
Electrical grill.
Electrical grid because Dallas's electrical grid is failing. That's why.
Oh man, it's good times, man. I appreciate it. I thank you so much in the chat. We love the interaction, and believe me, I love it. You got to understand, I love the hate. So my job is to create controversy. My job is to make sure Jarrett keeps watching because he get me paid. So I appreciate it, my man. But more importantly, wrapping this bad boy up. What was it? What's our standings? What are we looking like in our Cowboys Cave Fantasy League? What are we?
I'm in first place. That's all that matters.
Vince is in first.
I talk my talk, I walk the walk, and I show you. I told you guys, I told all of you guys that watch me, I will win this league. No one listens. Guess who's the best team in the league?
Mark the tape. I want you to mark the tape on Vince. Mark the tape on Vince saying this.
But guess who's the best team? You guys all were hating on it. All were hating on it. Everyone, no one believed in me. No one believed in me. But guess what? All you could do was watch. That's all you could do.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
You shut your face before I shave off half your mustache and shove it up your left nostril. Go ahead, Mikey, with the standings.
So Vince is first. We all know. Elijah is second.
Bullshit,
Kelly.
I'm second.
What?
Okay,
well, but then we have a three-way tie.
Oh,
Elijah, Kelly, and Disco D are a three-way tie for second.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good.
And then Troy is fifth. Jimmy, Fred, you, and Doug are sixth. And then me, Jason are 10th. And then Mark is last.
Vince, I got a comment in here from Mr. Jeff White. He said it's a bit early to declare yourself fantasy football champion. Do you want to come at him with some energy? Or
I do agree. It is a bit early.
But
I'm just too confident. You have to have confidence.
Look how fast he switched up. Look how fast he switched up.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Danny, we
knew
knew
what you're talking about.
We knew that energy was going to come down real quick.
Yeah, we all know.
Hey, Jeff, we really know why he's saying what he needs to say right now that he's going to
Look how fast he switched up, though.
What are you talking about?
Bro, you were just saying on the fantasy, and then now he said something.
But I agree with the point. It is a little early because I'm still going to win.
I shouldn't have said what I said.
I never said I should have said what I
hair ain't gonna hide that redneck,
Look, you hippie boy, you shut your mouth. Now listen to me. Let's talk turkey here for a minute. So I had a show on Monday. I want to know your opinion. Opinion in the chat. Josh Allen. Why does Josh Allen seem to get a pass when it comes to his turnovers, his performance? I broke down some comparisons to some other quarterbacks who he's played less games. He's had more turnovers. Is it the Chiefs? Some say it's that Chiefs game where he had that, great game that they lost. Why does Josh Allen get a pass in the media? Mikey, start with you and then work down to Disco and Vince.
First, he doesn't have a star. He doesn't have a star on his helmet.
Okay.
And then second, I don't know, because Josh Allen, he's a name, he's on the Madden cover. Some people say, oh, it's because he's on the Madden cover, so he gets the Madden curse, and now he gets a pass. And then he'll throw a pick and he'll say, well, it's the receiver's fault because he should have cut in more and blah 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 blah. That's pretty much all it is. If Josh Allen was on the Cowboys, he would be on every TV. So, and Hurts too. If God forbid
Justin Herbert gets a pass too.
Oh,
That's another one.
I'm just saying, God forbid Dak throws 3 picks in one game. He's trash. He's not the guy. Cowboys need to get rid of him. But Jalen Hurts throws 3 picks. Well, he does win the game, but even though their defense comes up clutch,
Get to the point.
Dak's a terrible quarterback. Justin Herbert's an actual good quarterback.
You say Justin Herbert's a good quarterback. Danny, you tell us why is this happening? Why is he getting a pass?
Well, I think Jeff White in the chat, he can give the real reason why. But they're the golden boys of the NFL, and they want to put them on this pedestal, just like Tom Brady was on this pedestal. And then when other quarterbacks that weren't Tom Brady would make mistakes, then they would say they're trash, needs to be traded. Tom Brady throws 5 picks. Oh, he just had a bad game.
No, I agree.
They're the face of, they're the golden boys.
Do you think around the table is Herbert better than Dak?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
0-2 against Dak. 0-2 against Dak. Go ahead.
I have to say, as a quarterback, I say yes.
No.
Okay.
Not as a team.
That's insane.
Bro,
Justin Herbert
has
actually do something
Eckler,
with an offense.
Keenan Allen,
you know what
Mike
Justin
Williams,
Herbert's good at
Quentin
doing?
Johnson.
Joe, you
If
know
he-
what?
if
You know
he
what
can
Justin
produce
Herbert's
with those
doing good
four,
at
with those
Vince?
4 players, he
Blowing
will never
28
produce
point
ever.
playoff, 28-point playoff game,
Yeah,
whatever the hell.
you can say the
21,
same
whatever.
for Dak. He shits
He
the
didn't
bed
blow
every
no
big-
That's the
leads.
Every
defense.
big
That's the
He didn't
game
blow
he
defense's
no
shits the
fault.
bed.
leads. He didn't blow no leads.
But every big game, there is no lead because he shits the bed. They're
No,
never ahead.
he's had. Listen. Let's go. You want to go through the playoffs? His
Don't
bad
count
playoff
the
games.
Bucks because
No.
you know they were shit.
No, the bad playoff games he's had 2. Both
I'm
against
talking
San
about big
Francisco.
games. Forget the playoffs.
What
Any
big games has he
game.
won?
Does-
What
is-
big games?
Wait, is Philadelphia a big game for him?
Yes.
That's not a big game.
It depends.
I mean,
If
is
it
it
is
or
it for
isn't
the
it?
division,
Is it a big game for him? That's supposedly their biggest test in the division. Is it a big game?
potentially.
He's 8-3 against him. Go ahead.
All right. Well,
All
they
right.
play him. Don't they play him
It
in
was
a few
the
weeks?
Chargers. The Chargers. Last year was that a big game? Oh, they're going to lose a charge. Justin Herbert beat Justin Herbert. Beat him again. I'm just saying he's won. He's been 12-5, 12-5. He's never had a losing record as a starting quarterback. He wins. Now he doesn't beat San Francisco. We don't want no San Francisco. I'll be the first
Or
to
the
say I don't want to
Rams.
see them in the playoffs.
Didn't
I
know
don't
What
wanna
that.
see
has
them in the
Justin
playoffs.
Herbert done? Tell me. What has he done since he's been in the league?
He's been a solid, consistent quarterback. That's
In
what he's been.
in what aspect? He hasn't won a playoff game.
Dude,
he
he has
blew a
one
28
receiver.
to what? 28 to
He's got
nothing
one receiver.
lead.
He has the
He has
worst defense
Keenan
probably in the
Allen.
NFL. His
He has
defense
Keenan
is terrible.
Allen.
All he
He
has is
has
Derwin
Mike
James.
Williams.
That's all
and
he has.
They just drafted Quentin Johnston. And
Quentin
they
Johnson
have
is a
Eckler.
terrible draft pick. I
That's
said
not
this
true.
from the get-go. He's an awful wide receiver.
Well, they don't put him on the field.
He's
Anyways.
terrible. Have you
All
watched
right.
him play?
Okay. All right. Anyways, they have Eckler. So what? Like,
Ooh,
he's
there's
got-
Eckler.
if he can't
He's
win
got-
All right,
he's got
here.
wins.
This is
If
the
he
way.
can't win with
If you
them, he'll
had,
never
if
win.
you had Dak
ever.
or Herbert right now on your team, would you say Dallas is a better team with Herbert or Dak? Be honest.
Easily,
You
Dallas
gotta
is a
be
better
honest.
team with
Dak.
Herbert.
Herbert doesn't win big
No,
games.
he
If that's
doesn't
what
win
you're
big
saying.
games.
If you put Herbert with those wide receivers,
This is crazy.
different story.
He already has.
No.
He has Keenan Allen.
He has Keenan Allen,
has
Mike
Keenan
That's all he
Williams,
Allen.
has.
Austin. He's got
That-
Eckler.
Eckler.
He's not
Mike
a receiver.
Williams.
Mike Williams, he's been hurt more than he's healthy.
My
You
God.
got Bosa. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay,
Jay.
Bosa,
first of
Mack.
all,
They got
Khalil
no
Mack is
defense.
Oh my
washed.
God,
They got
Khalil!
no
First of all,
defense.
Khalil Mack. I forgot he even plays.
He's so washed.
non-existent.
Congrats. He had like
Khalil
a
Mack
5-sack game, and that's all he did.
Wait,
He's
wait,
not
wait,
existent.
Secondary is
Washed?
terrible.
He had 6 sacks
Bosa,
in one
yes.
game.
Mack,
All
no.
right. No, I quit.
I love El Fuego. He's the best.
There's no way, bro.
Yeah, and I would agree. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, you got, I agree. Patrick Mahomes and Burrow, I would put at a high level. I think you could take 3 to 10 quarterbacks, whoever you rank them, and you can mix them up in a blender and figure out which one you want. I mean, that's just my opinion of it. So I will stand by that. Dallas's offense has always been near the top. Their points per game has always been near the top. You say they had all these weapons. His goddamn receivers last year were CeeDee Lamb and Noah Brown. I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves. His receiver, Noah Brown. You hear? Let me say it one more time. Noah Brown was his number 2 receiver. Okay, everyone makes it out like he's had all these weapons. Just
I thought he was hurt
Herbert
last
blew a 28. What was it? 28 to
20
0 or
something.
21 to 0?
shit the
That's
bed.
a defensive fault. That's a
Absolutely.
defensive
that-
fault.
No. How
Wait,
about the
what?
offense just has to get one possession, score one field
Because they
goal?
were running the ball with the running back.
Oh my
Because they were
God.
down,
Oh
so they
my
run the
God.
ball. And the
Vince,
running back didn't
This is
produce, and the
a,
O-line
this is
didn't
a
produce.
certified
That's not
Herbert
Herbert's
Glazer
fault.
right now.
I'm not
I
a
know,
Herbert
I
Glazer.
know.
I'm
Hey,
just being
Glazer at
honest.
his
Hey,
finest.
wipe your face.
Yeah.
Right
No,
there. You got
literally,
some
like-
on your
yo,
shit.
Yo,
Vince, you got
I'm trying to
something
be
right
PG
here.
here. I'm trying to be
Vince.
PG here.
Vince, you got something right here. Vince.
No, you can't
Hey,
deny.
Mikey, why don't
Herbert's
you
a
get my,
really good quarterback. You can't.
Herbert's a good quarterback, but I don't
Okay,
think
no,
Herbert's a good
his
quarterback,
Career, I don't
but he
think his
chokes in
career is
big
better than
games.
Dak Prescott's at all. I don't.
Hey,
I'm not
read
saying
that
career.
comment.
I
Read
just
that
said who's a
comment.
better quarterback.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
All right, would you take Russell Wilson or?
You do what?
I'll say this. Disco D is looking forward to draft day.
Yeah. Yeah. All
I
right.
don't want- I do not want Caleb Williams.
Well, no,
Why?
we'll see. You can get a good pick.
I agree. He's too full of himself.
No.
I agree.
He
So
hasn't done
Cowboys.
look, two big games he played, folded up like a tent, both of them.
Would you take
Yeah.
Drake May over him?
I'll be honest with you.
I would.
I want Kirk Cousins.
I don't know. Drake May is the
That old
better
head turd?
prospect quarterback that I've seen so far.
You know, Denver's never won a Super Bowl with a quarterback that they've drafted. They've never been to a Super Bowl with a quarterback they've drafted.
Oh yeah,
They didn't
because
draft
Elway,
Elway?
they traded for
Oh, no,
Elway.
they traded for Elway. That's right.
No, he was a Colt.
Yeah,
7 Super Bowls.
but he
all
was
different.
really
Maybe that's a sign
Bronco,
Richardson would be on the
though.
Broncos.
He never played a snap with the.
I don't
Colts.
give a shit. He wasn't. I said drafted.
Maybe Richardson will be a Bronco in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, hey, well, we're gonna wrap it up, man. It's been a good hour. It's been a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to fill in for Jason. Vince did a beautiful job. Mikey, Disco D. It was a lot of fun. Make sure we're going to be live, not tomorrow, but we're going to be live on Wednesday with our normal Cowboy show with Kelly K9 and I. We're going to be mixing it up, getting everything ready. And then, like I said, Sunday, we are going to have our live show at Henderson's. If you're in the state of Florida, you need to make the trek over to Tampa and hang out with the Cowboys Cave. We're going to have a lot of fun. These guys, some of these guys will be here. I don't know if all of them will be here, but I know we're going to have a lot of guests coming in.
Vince, you going?
Why haven't
Uncle
you need to ask
Cheech is
your
going to be
girl
going. You're
permission?
ruining the flow. Uncle Cheech is going to be coming out to the cave. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys check it out. Cowboys Cave. It's going to be the Cowboys watch party, hanging with Cowboys Nation. If you're not at AT&T, that's the next best place to be. So
Is
make
Uncle
sure you
Cheech
guys-
going?
Uncle Cheech is going to be there. Uncle Cheech
Nice.
is making an appearance. We are going to have it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you
Nice.
guys check it out. So
Mhm.
any of you guys have parting shots before we bust out of here?
Julio Jones is still a future Hall of Famer. I just want to make that clear once again.
I agree.
I don't have time to go through that again.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
true.
saw somebody climb out of your window, Vince.
Herbert does have nice hair. I wish I had a head of
Yeah,
hair
it was your
like that.
diet.
So,
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
hey, it was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys.
Hey,
letting me
why don't you
hang
go
out.
back to Disney World?
Hey, why don't you go back on the treadmill?
Does he have the Mickey's? Does
Hey,
he
you
wear
go
the
play with
Mickey's ears
Minnie
or
Mouse
the-
wearing your Pluto ears.
The Pluto. Does he do the Pluto hat? That's what I thought. I like that. I like that guy. So, all right, you guys
Have
take
a good
care.
night.
We'll see you guys. Peace
Later.
out.
Have a good one.
Meeting is gonna be commencing real soon because we getting ready to get this party started. Can you feel me? Can you?